Okay, as you are doing your calculations, you'll be doing a lot of steps and using a lot of numbers. And when you finally get to the end, you might have a number or an answer that has lots of decimal places. So for example, let's say that you do a calculation and the answer that you get is that you're going to give a patient 30.0219 milliliters. Now, in the pharmacy and in the working world, you're probably not going to have a syringe that goes up to this accuracy. You're probably just going to give about 30 milliliters when you actually drop the dose. And that's okay because we have rounding. Now when you use the rounding, it's a tool to give more of an approximation, and it's used very frequently to make it easier to work with the numbers. So the way that we do the rounding is that we have to have a specific place in mind. We can't just round to however much we feel like it. We have to know exactly how accurate and how specific we want to be. So that brings us back to our places. So we talked about like the tenths place, the hundredths place, thousandths place, and we're going to use those numbers and those ordinals when we do our rounding. And in order to do the rounding, we take a certain place. So let's just come up with a number. So let's just say 123.445. So or 123 and 45 hundredths. So we take the place that we want to look at. Let's just say we want to look at this tenths place. We're going to round to the nearest tenths. That number. And we take a look at the number to the right. So we're going to look at this 5. Okay, this is the number that we're going to use when we do our rounding. So if the number is 5 or greater, so that's 5 through 9, we round up. And if the number is 0 through 4, we round down. So if we're rounding to the nearest tenths place, we look at the hundredths place, and this 5 is in this 5 through 9 category, so we're rounding up. So this 4 goes up one value, and our new value is 123.5. And that's as far as we go. Since we are rounding to the nearest tenth, we don't write anything beyond that. So let's just do another one. Let's see. This time let's round to the nearest hundredths place. So the hundredths place in this example is this 9. So we look at the number to the right of the 9, which is a 7, and that 7 is between 5 and 9, so we round up. So we ignore the 7 and everything past it, and this 9 goes up. So we round this 9 up to a 10, which carries on over to this 8. So our new number would be 3794.90. Now in this case, we do want to keep this 0 here. Normally we would just get rid of it since it's not really affecting the rest of the answer. But since we're specifically rounding to the nearest hundredths place, we want to keep it. Another example. We'll say 1.3907. Alright, we got this 1.390 blah blah blah. And let's just say we want to round to the nearest 100th place again. Okay? So since we're rounding to the nearest 100th place, we just look at the number to the right of it, which is this 0. And 0 doesn't round up, so our new number would be 1.39. And we can just ignore the rest of it. One thing you want to make sure you do is that you just round to the one place. So if you have the number 3.44445 and we're rounding to the nearest 10th place, we just round, we look at one number over. So 3.44445, the 4 doesn't round up, so it just rounds down, so the answer would be 3.4. You do not want to say 4 rounds this up to 5, which rounds this up to 5, which rounds this up to 5, which rounds this up to 5. No, that's no good. Our answer would be 3.4, not 3.5. Again, you just look at just the one decimal place over. Okay, that's rounding. Have fun with it.